Hey, what's going on, everybody? I wanted to take a second here real quick and just introduce myself so you know who in the world it is that is talking with you here today. My name is Stan Rada. I am a campus pastor with New Life Christian Church. I lead our campus in the Gainesville, Bristow area of Northern Virginia. I am on staff with Tom Pounder, and I think that's how I ended up finding my way onto this summer ministry vlog week. Tom, thanks for inviting me to be a part of it. Hey, a couple things about me real quick. I'm a huge Kansas City Chiefs fan. I'm a huge Nebraska Cornhusker fan, kind of born and raised somewhat in the Midwest, I guess. And I also love to drink coffee. So when Tom asked me to be a part of the ministry vlog week, I struggled at first initially thinking, nobody wants to hear from me. I don't have enough good stuff to say. Nobody knows who I am. What in the world am I supposed to do? And I decided I would just speak on something that has been really personal to me lately, some stuff that, some leadership stuff that I'm wrestling through and trying to figure out a little bit also, and just share a few thoughts with you all and encourage you in this area as well. And it's simply the area of culture, creating culture. I've come to firmly believe in my time in ministry that culture trumps vision. It is just over vision. It just is. It doesn't matter how much stuff you talk and say and all that. It's the kind of culture that you are creating and allowing that will ultimately dictate which way you go. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about culture, creating a healthy church or ministry culture. The first thing I think that you have to do in order to create a healthy church culture is I think that you have to be healthy. You as the leader have to be healthy. And so I wanted to just encourage you to go out and find a coach. Go out and find a mentor. If you're not working with people who are further along the ministry path than you are, I want to encourage you to stop what you're doing and go and find that person, somebody that you admire, somebody that you respect, and try to get on their calendar. And so I'd encourage you to get a coach, get a mentor, go to a counselor. Ministry leaders, I believe, need counseling. Everybody, I believe, needs counseling. But if you want to lead a healthy church culture, you also need to be healthy. So go get some counseling. What are the issues that if your wife or your husband were sitting here with you would say, that's the thing you need to work on? Maybe you need to take that topic into a counselor or coach and start working through some things. The second thing I would say is to simply identify and eliminate culture cancers. And that's probably been stated in a bunch of different ways by a bunch of other leaders and more eloquent people than me. But you have to, as you are establishing a healthy church and ministry culture, you have to identify the things that are in your culture that are toxic, that are cancerous, that are destroying your culture, and you need to eliminate them as quickly as possible. I just recently finished reading this book, Extreme Ownership, a leadership book from some former Navy SEALs. And one of them, in one of the chapters, Leif Babin, he says, it's not what you preach, it's what you tolerate. And so when it comes to creating a church and ministry culture, look around, see what's going on, see the unhealthy culture tendencies, and work to eliminate them, because it doesn't matter how much you preach against them. If you tolerate and put up with them, you're going to end up with an unhealthy church or ministry culture. So identify and eliminate culture cancers. The third thing I think about a lot is simply modeling the right behavior. I think a lot of us probably are familiar with the Leadership 101. Identify the path, align people on that path, and model the right behavior. If you're looking to create a healthy church culture and you're working on yourself as a leader, you're growing in your own personal health, you're getting healthier personally, you're beginning to identify the cancers in the culture around you, you're beginning to eliminate them, things are starting to kind of go the right direction. Now you need to be modeling what it is that you want. If you're wanting a culture that honors people, honors their time, then you need to be showing up to things on time. You need to be ending things on time. You need to be honoring if that's the culture you're going for. If that's not the culture you're going for and that's not high on your list, that's fine. Do what you want with the culture you're trying to create. But you need to determine what those are and then begin to model those behaviors. If you're trying to create a team culture within your ministry or church that either honors other team members or volunteers, you need to model what it looks like to honor those people. You need to model the right behavior. And so as you begin to work your way through this healthy church culture that you're creating, this healthy ministry culture that you're creating, I want to encourage you now to begin modeling the behavior that it is that you want to see from your ministry people, your volunteers, your teams, the people around you in your ministry. The fourth thing that I think about is simply what gets celebrated gets repeated. So one of the things you can do to ensure you're creating a healthy church culture is to begin to look around you. You've already looked around, you've identified culture cancers, you've begun to eliminate and remove those from your ministry or your church. Now kind of look around and see what's going well. Look for the people that are already embodying the culture that you want to create, the people that are already doing those things and acting and behaving and living out the culture, the values, the principles, all those things. Find those people and tell their story. If it's a story of just one of the individual team members and you want to share that story within a team, share the story within a team. Get that team together in a team huddle. Take them out to eat. Do whatever it is you're doing. Set something aside and then share that person's story. Tell them what they're doing well. Praise them kind of publicly. What gets celebrated gets repeated. Find a way to share the story in video format and tell the story on a Sunday morning in video in front of everybody. What gets celebrated gets repeated. If you want to see new people and other people join your teams and carry out that culture, then you need to step up publicly and you need to just broadcast very publicly the people who have modeled the culture very well. And so never forget, what gets celebrated gets repeated. And the fifth thing I would say is fresh, new, memorable language. You want language that is brief and quick and to the point and very clear, that your teams learn and the culture learns and understands exactly what you're going for, what we're all aiming at together as a team. A couple that I use, one that I talk about a lot that you can hear on any of my teams at my campus is simply 1% improvements. One of the things we've been saying all through, especially through 2017, is simply what do we need to do? 1% improvements. How do we get just a little bit better this week so that we're better this week over what we were last week? How do we just get that 1% better, 1% momentum, 1% step forward? Another bit of language that we use a lot is simply newcomers. Either we say it a couple different ways, either eyes for newcomers or really it's newcomer eyes. And I like that language because I want our people looking out for guests to our church, newcomers to our church, but I also want our teams to be seeing the campus from the eyes of the newcomer. What are they seeing when they walk in the door? Do the greeters look like they're in the right place? What did the parking lot look like? Was the signage okay? What does the newcomer see? Did they know where to go? Is there a piece of trash on the floor? Is something out of place? Was everybody in the right spot in Kids Zone so the newcomer knew exactly what to do and what to expect? And so we talk a lot about 1% improvements, newcomer eyes, and we have others as well, and you probably have some of that language in your church and ministry as well. But you want to have that simple, clear, fresh language that every single person on your team can be living out, understand what it means, and kind of all rolling in the exact same direction. So there you have it. I think I may have gone over my time just a little bit, but kind of five ideas, 5 ways to begin creating a healthy church and ministry culture. So get out there, men and women, go out and lead in amazing ways, create awesome church culture, and hoping and praying the best for each of you in your ministries, wherever you're at. And thanks again, Tom, for the opportunity to be a part of Summer Ministry Vlog Week. Have a great day, everybody.